Just a few months ago, it was announced that Equifax would be settling their massive data breach lawsuits against them, in which roughly 147 million American citizens had their data accessed because of the poor security happening over at Equifax. Well, now a watchdog group is saying that the settlement that was agreed to is far too small, with too little money going to the victims, and they want that changed. Joining me now to explain what's happening is Scott Hardy with Top Class Actions. And Scott, you and I have done lots of segments. I believe we even did one on Equifax, the big settlement there. And a lot of times we talk about these settlements like, wow, this is really good for consumers. But the Equifax one, 147 million people just in this country affected by it. That's a lot of people to split not a lot of money, isn't it?
That's right. It was lauded as a great settlement. It's going to be wonderful. It's up to $600 million for consumers. People are saying, man, this is great. $125 per person that you could claim. And also you can claim the time that you spent talking to your credit card companies to see if you were impacted. So you could see a payment between $200 to $300. Man, this is going to be awesome. $600 million settlement. Everybody's going to get paid who qualifies. This will be great. Oh, wait, small caveat. Only $30 million of that settlement is actually cash that's meant for consumers claiming that benefit. So if you claim that benefit, don't expect much because everybody is, and you'll only get a fraction of what you're expecting. So that was the big womp womp. Sad. Oh my gosh, I was so upset once we found this out and, once we dug into the settlement. It was such a disappointment. I'm not surprised that we see these objections. There have already been more than 100 objections to this settlement. So hopefully we'll see more of that $600 million fund go to consumers rather than act as a beneficiary for Equifax themselves, because that's what a big chunk of this money was to do, was to offer free credit reporting. But it wasn't free credit reporting. Equifax says, we're giving a couple $100 million into this fund that you can pay us back for this free credit reporting for consumers. So they're not actually really losing anything.
So we actually, with this settlement, with the number of victims, 147 million, to split $30 million. So you're talking about almost 5 times more victims than dollars available to them. That's insane. That's, 20 cents per person. If my quick math is correct here, that is crazy. And so, yes, it's no surprise at all that people would object to this. I would expect the number to be a lot more than 100 people. And I assume as more and more people realize how bad this truly is, we're going to see a lot more objections. And that's, obviously one of the important reasons we do these segments together, is because we need people to understand what's actually happening. Sometimes we get distracted by the headlines, right? We see these big settlements, $600 million, and everybody thinks, well, heck yeah, the company's paying up, they're being punished, we're getting back what we lost or, time lost, whatever it is, we get it back, we win, end of story, have a great day. But when you drill down to some of these settlements like this, that's not nearly the case. The companies do end up coming out on top here, and that's what Equifax was banking on with this settlement.
Right. I mean, they agreed to this settlement knowing that their hundreds of millions of dollars that they're taking out of their pockets is going to go right back into it. So from the start, once we found out really the true terms of this settlement, we weren't really happy with. They also made it a bit more of a challenge to object to this settlement. They had some really interesting caveats in there that said that it required class members to provide 4 dates they're available to be deposed, which is weird. You should just be able to eject and then set a date that you're available to be deposed. And they also have to identify all class actions that they have objected to within the past 5 years. Now, I believe that was put in there to try to combat the serial objectors, where you have these people that object to every single class action that goes out there because they're trying to get a piece of the settlement pie. I can understand why you might have that little piece in there, but you still have to make it fair and easy for the people who are legitimate objectors to object to this and say, hey, I don't find this settlement fair. I don't think it's fair to me, and to say their piece. So, there are some interesting points to this, this tact that this watchdog group is taking to try to get some more justice for consumers. But since there are already more than 100 objections, we can hope that we'll see some more money in the pockets of consumers at the end. But don't hold your breath, because instead of getting 25 cents each, we might get 50 cents each.
Well, this was a big issue. We've got a lot of other data breaches that are currently in the class action process. We've got a lot of others that could be settling soon. Hopefully things work out well with this Equifax one. As you said, probably best to not hold our breath on it. But let's hold out a little bit of hope. And let's also hope that some of these other groups who've had these data breaches don't follow suit with this and try to work consumers over one last time. For more information about this issue, follow the link in the description of this video and head over to Top Class Actions. And as always, while you're there, if you have not already, make sure you sign up for their weekly newsletter. Scott Hardy with Top Class Actions. Thank you very much for talking with us today.
You're welcome. Thanks for your time, Farron.
This is an important message for our nation's veterans. If you served our country in the military between 2003 and 2015 and you suffered significant hearing loss, you might be entitled to compensation, because the hearing protection you were issued may be at fault for the damage you suffered, but you need to act now. Your time to make a claim might be limited. Learn more at levinlaw.com/earplugs.